Hello everyone and welcome to Event Tech Live's Exhibitor Masterclass in partnership with Grip. Before we get started and before my little bit, before Laurie and the team also do their bit, if you can see on, I think it'll be the right hand side of your screen, a comment and question box. If you have questions as we go through this, whether it be on my part or the actual demo of the Grip platform, post your questions in there and we will have a Q&A section towards the end which will bring those questions on screen and hopefully we'll be able to answer all of those questions at that point as well. It would be remiss of me not to say thank you for Grip for supporting us again on Event Tech Live on our inaugural US and Canada event. They've been a great partner of ours and I think it's fair to say that without them and their support it would be really hard for us to do hopefully what will be such a successful first outing for the US and Canada edition. A few reminders before we get started, things that you may have missed or not paid attention to at this moment in time. So first and foremost, a reminder about your tech demo sessions, which are included as part of you guys exhibiting within your exhibitor pack. We have partnered with Cloud Present. They are going to help record those professionally and edit those professionally for us. And they will be content available to our audience on demand from the very first moment the doors open on Event Tech Live on the 8th of June. And they're a great opportunity for you to not only showcase what you guys are up to and what your technology can do, but as a lead funnel for you guys into your actual inbound leads, which Laurie will touch upon later. So make sure you get on that. And the actual email that we sent this was also included in the exhibitor pack. Coming on to that, the email which had the subject line of Exhibitor Marketing Pack, that also includes 10 things that you should do to ensure that your company gets out the most of being an exhibitor. Obviously the webinar is an additional one, that's number 11, but do go through that from 1 to 10 and make sure you pay attention to all of those, because the more of those that you do, the more that we can support you in your exhibiting and sponsorship activity as well. One of those things is including ETL21 hashtag and tagging us at Event Tech Live in your social media. That's across Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, anywhere that you've got a social media presence, use those to tag us and comment as well. Here are some examples, one from Tag promoting the session that they're actually involved in, and also Keith, one of our exhibitors, actually sharing the banner that we've provided with links as well. The next point I'll make is Event Industry News is running a official show preview. This preview gives you the opportunity to showcase again what you guys are doing in front of the Event Industry News audience, which is a global audience. And if you want to learn more about that, or if you want more information, then email Eloise@eventindustrynews.com. She's the one that's managing that feature for us. Second, well, I think we're on 4th or 5th now, sorry. Send your news in to us. We have a dedicated news section on the Event Tech Live website, which is being heavily used and has got great indexing for event technology related content. That news also features on a weekly newsletter that we send to our entire Event Tech Live and Event Tech Buyer database. So there are 2 examples, one from Events Case and one from Grip on recent launches and recent partnerships. So again, there's no cost to that. If you're an exhibitor, send that information and send that news into us. We'll carry it, we'll promote it, and it's a great way to get some extra visibility in front of the audience. And VIP tickets. Now, within your exhibiting package, everybody has an allocation of VIP tickets, and your codes will be sent to you, I think, on Wednesday now, along with further instruction on how to do that. It's a great opportunity for you to invite prospects and customers or anybody in your network that you think will actually benefit from being at Event Tech Live, whether that be the content, the workshops, the roundtables, or just the general networking. So further information will come on Wednesday about those tickets. And here we are. So I'm going to now invite Laurie, who is Global Success Director at Grip. Laurie, welcome to the webinar.
Thank you. Thanks, Adam. Hi, everyone. Thank you for welcoming us, and thank you for trusting us on being your partner.
No, it goes without saying that you've been a great partner to us for the last couple of editions. I think it's
likewise.
I think you guys have got a great team and a great platform as well. So I'm going to bring your screen on now, so you can go into Grip, and I'll hand over to you there. Yeah.
Thank you very much. All right, guys, let's get started. So welcome to this Exhibitor Masterclass. My name is Laurie. I'm a Global Client Success Director at Grip and super excited to be here with you today. So today I will be, it will be a bit of a different demo. The idea behind this Masterclass is really giving you some tips and tricks into making the best of this platform and the best of Event Tech Live US and Canada, the first edition. So what I want to give you here is actionable content that you can take away with your team and can allow you to achieve higher return on investment and higher return on time, right? Because time is precious and we want you to use it wisely. So the ones that have used the Grip platform in collaboration with Event Tech Live, in partnership with Event Tech Live in the past, welcome back. The new ones, welcome. And I hope this will give you what you need to make it a success, to make an event the success. Sorry, list. All right. So what are the phases? Tomorrow you will receive a login and password. So watch out for an email that will come your way. You will be asked to onboard the platform and to get onto the platform. So the first thing you will be doing is creating a password and go through a series of onboarding questions that will allow you to initially enrich your profile. During that first phase, which will start tomorrow up until the 25th next week, what will be asked from you is to update your personal profiles, manage your availability calendar, as well as update your company profile as well as your products. Okay, so how do you do this? Very simple. One thing that is very important is having a rich and engaging profile will allow you to attract more discussions. Okay, someone that is sitting in front of their screen will make an informed decision based on what they see on your company profile, your products profile, as well as your personal profile. So make sure to make it rich, engaging, and to update it at any point in time as it's live updating. Now, how do I do this? Very simple. First thing first, take care of yourself, right? We always hear about those quotes. Well, take care of yourself. Start by updating your personal profile. So on the top right corner here, as you can see, there is a little profile section. In there, I can see all my personal information, right? So my first name, last name, my headline, as well as additional information about me, events type supplied, and I can add, out of those predefined value, I can choose whatever fits the most with what I supply. Tech provided, I can there as well update what I provide as a product, etc., etc. As I said, this can be updated at any point in time. So if at any point in time you feel like you need to update this, please go ahead and do it. But again, very important is to allocate some time and to encourage all your team members that will be part of the event to spend this time updating their personal profile. Next, after your personal profile, and we'll go into contact sharing and manage availability in just a second. After your personal profile, what is very important to do is to go into the team section, which is the company management section, okay, where you can manage your company profile as well as your products. So go into teams here and go into your company profile. You can put a head banner here that you can manage right there and there, choose a file and put a banner on your profile. You can update your logo, so add a logo that you choose on your computer or on your drive. And then the same as your personal profile, you will see a series of fields that you can provide and answer. So your company type here. Okay, again, you can choose from predefined values. You can remove them at any point in time by clicking the cross and updating. One very important field is the video URL field here. So you'll be able to add an embedded video directly on your profile, and I'll show you on the Grip profile how it looks in just a second. There is specificities to that type of URL. It can only be YouTube or Vimeo. It has to be the embedded link, and you have a little article you can click here to see how to pick up that YouTube or Vimeo link directly from YouTube and Vimeo and to enter it here. Okay, so it can be a nice promotional video about your company, a short discussion, anything you want really that represents you and again, engage and will attract new clients, okay, or attract simply the attention. Once you've updated your company profile, and you can see the other type of fields, you will also see those are open fields, such as your Instagram, LinkedIn links that you can just drop in here. So you can simply drop the link and click on update, which automatically will update your profile. A quick little summary is always nice as well if you wanted to explain what your company is all about. After your company profile, don't forget to update your products and create products, actually, not update, create. So you'll be able to add products here. You'll be able to add up to 8 pictures here that showcase your product. You'll be able to give it a name, a headline, if you wanted to make it quick and catchy. You will also be able to, again, add an embedded video URL on the profile of your products. This is the good times to put a quick product demo for this specific product, and so on and so forth. Okay, so here, same logic. It has to be Vimeo and YouTube, and you can pick up here the link that teaches you how to do this. Once you have updated all your products, and you'll be able to, with your initial package, you'll be able to add 2. Then you'll be prompted to upgrade if you wanted to add additional products. Okay, but from the get-go, you will have the ability to add 2. Next, and let's go back to your personal profiles. Once you have done so, your personal profile update, as well as your company profile update, and added your products, the next step will be to go back to your personal profile and decide and look at the contact sharing box. In here, what we wanted, what this specific feature is about think about a physical event where you will share your personal business card. This is the same, basically. You will then here put your email, phone number, and set the private, whether you want to share your contact details on private with your connections only, or you want to set it as public. Public meaning it appears directly on your personal profile without having private connections prior to this. And private, it's totally private, so no one will be able to see it. So this is a nice way to give more, to make yourself more accessible for follow-ups, etc., if you wanted to, and if you wanted to set it only with your connections. Next is manage my availabilities. This space is very important, as everyone is working from home and as everyone is in different countries or at different time zone. Setting your availability is very important, as you can directly say, I'm not available at this time. You might be picking up the kids. You might be wanting to take a nap in the afternoon, but don't take a nap. The content is super good at ETL, so you want to make sure you grasp everything. But this is basically gives you the availability to the possibility to block off sometimes, if you want it, also block off sometimes to do some browsing rather than have meetings booked or etc. So this automatically, when you make yourself busy, that means no one can request a meeting with you at this time. Okay. As you can see at the top here, you always see your meeting, your availability calendar at the time, at your time zone. Your time zone is defined by the time zone set on your computer, okay, or your mobile device. So once I have updated my availabilities, I can then save, and I'm all set to go. Okay, so so let's recap. Okay, tricks and tips and tricks. First, onboard the platform, update your personal profile, update your company profiles, add all your products, make it rich and engaging. You can update it at any time. Define what your contact details are and do what visibility you want to give them, and manage your availability. All of this is updatable at any point in time. Okay, so that's phase 1. Now, what happens on phase 2 on the 25th? Well, on the 25th, during phase 2, everything launches for you, meaning you're going to have those amazing networking tools, as well as access to the event agenda, where you're going to be able to start preparing your, adding some conferences and roundtables to your event agenda, and making your schedule super rich and prepared for the event. Now, what I'm going to start with is the different networking tools and areas of the platform, and giving you some tips around this, and then we'll go deep dive into the actual networking tools and what you have available to generate leads and talk to people, etc., etc. So first thing first, what are the areas I should be looking at? Number 1, Grip is an AI-powered platform, meaning based on all this rich data you've given us on your personal profile, on your company profiles, and on your products, we're going to recommend you visitors and exhibitors which have the similar interest goals, which means that might be potential business leads for you. Okay, so where do I find them? In the section recommended for you. In there, you'll be able to see about 10 recommendations at the time, right? And those recommendations, you will have 3 actions on it. You will have a skip action, a show interest, and a request a meeting. Now, not only does our AI use data, it also uses behavior, meaning the more you use and the more you action on those recommendations, the more your recommendations are going to be refined. We constantly learn from you. And even better, all of you guys that have already done Event Tech Live, guess what? We've already learned from your previous attendance, and your recommendations are more and more, are already pretty narrow and pretty refined. Okay, so make sure you keep attending Event Tech Live, as it will directly affect your recommendations. So what are those 3 calls to actions, and what do they mean? Number 1, skip means I'm not interested. Don't worry, no one will know you skip a profile, so you will not hurt anyone's feeling. But this is a question I get on a daily basis when I do demo. Show interest. When you show interest to someone, it acts 2 ways. It nudges them and tells them, hey, Laurie has shows interest to your profile. Catherine can then come back to my profile and say, I'm actually very interested by Laurie as well. Let me interest her back. And once we've had that mutual interest, we're directly a connection. And then there's the section here, request a meeting. So now what happens when I click on request a meeting? Well, then here, what happens is I see the request meeting section. I can I can choose a date, right? I can choose a time. I can choose a section, location, which is always a virtual meeting room, and I can write a little message. Now, I'll get into the tip and tricks of each of the tools shortly, but this is just how you can book a meeting directly, request a meeting directly from this page. I can also add any team members of mine. For example, if I wanted to add other team members or other people from the platform, and I wanted to regroup a few different providers, so we have a brainstorming session together, you can do multi-user meetings. So you can pick a few different suppliers that will be great and brainstorm around how their product works together. So I can add about 10 team members at the time, and I can have up to 50 people in there and click on request a meeting. Okay. Now, a little trick around requesting a meeting, guys, here, writing a personal message and really going into and writing a little personal note from something you've seen on someone's profile, or from a little bit of research you've done on LinkedIn, knowing them will allow you to have 50% more chance to have this meeting accepted. People like to have a personal message. It makes it more personable, and on top of this, it really incentivize them by, I know your product, I know we're a great match, blah 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 blah. It will lead to more accepted meetings. Okay, so spend a bit of time doing this as well, and encourage your sales teams to do this as well. Now, how do I look at someone's profile? Because Catherine, I see a lot of her information. If I click on Joe here, I end up on his personal profile. I can see his company, and if he's speaking at a session. Okay, so don't hesitate to click on someone's profile to see more additional information about them. As you can see here, again, I have the ability to request a meeting directly with Joe, add additional team member, same logic as earlier, write a little message, don't forget that message, and then the same actions here, a skip, a show interest. And here, the company page again, skip, interest, meet, I can go and click on the company page as well. What are the other networking tool? The interested in you, very important section. Think about LinkedIn, where you always have this inflow of people viewing your profile. Well, this is exactly the same. This is a hot bank of leads of people that have interested your personal profile. Okay, so right there and then I have a 4th action that added to that. I have the skip, which I know. I have the show interest. I can request a meeting, but I also have the chat, because Jody has already interested me. So what I can do here is I can directly write a message to Jody and ask her additional information prior to us actually requesting a meeting with each other. Okay. So I'm going to show interest back to Jody. Okay, so now it is a handshake, and it is a Jody is one of my connections. What are the other section in here? You have the section My Connections, where you can see all your connections. As you can see here, Jody is now one of my connection. Everyone has, so a connection is, let me rewind 2 seconds, it's either a confirmed meeting or a mutual interest with someone. Only at that time can I chat with them. Okay, we want to avoid spamming, and we want to make everyone's experience much better. And my interest list here is the people I've interested. My skip list, the people I've skipped. Again, no hard feelings. No one will know that you have skipped their profile. Now, how do I get actually in front of people? Then very easy. Okay. So number one, so you have a set of different tools. You have some of the more structured networking versus unstructured networking. Okay, so we were just talking about we were just talking about meetings. Now, how do meeting work? Super easy. So we talked about the recommendations here, but let's go and search for specific profiles ourselves. So you can rely on recommendations to see the type of to meet new people, to see new profile, and get new leads in, right? And get guided by AI. But then let's say you wanted to do your own search. There is a series of lists here that you could go and deep dive into. A full visitors list, for example. So you can use some of the filters here and do a specific search on specific profiles. So let's say I look for conference. Here I see a series of profile that have selected conference as the type of event they do. If I click on Aidine's profile, I hope I'm not hurting anyone's feelings by scarring those names. I'm not really good at pronunciation. Blame it to the French. But here, if I want to book, request a meeting, as I said earlier, you can add up to 50 attendees, 10 at a time, dates, time, location, a little personal message. I have 10 meetings request that I can blast out at a time. It's pending meetings. Think about it as a cycle of meetings. You connect tomorrow, shoot out 10 meeting requests. Until people start accepting or declining, you will be booked out. And as soon as people accept or decline your meeting, you will regain this allowance. Now, if I send out the meeting requests right now, what happens? Well, Aidin is going to receive an email in their native email and saying, hey, Laurie has requested a meeting with you. He can accept it directly from there or connect to the platform and accept there and there. Now, what happens and where can you see all your meetings? Once you've booked all your meetings, and again, sorry, rewinding 1 second, not only do you have a visitors list, you have a full exhibitors list, full exhibitor staff, and speakers list, okay? Now, where do I see all my meetings? Super easy. In my schedule, I'll be able not only to see my meetings, but I'll also be able to see the events I have RSVP to. And for example, here I have a demo roundtable session that has started 20 minutes ago, but it ends at 6, so I will join later. But my meetings will be sitting right there. So you see right now, I have a meeting with Neil that started about 5 minutes ago, and I'm late. But what would have happened is 5 minutes prior to this meeting, I would have received an email as well as Neil saying, hey, Laurie, you have a meeting that is about to start. So everyone will be prompted automatically to their meetings because, again, we know that people will be, and as well as your native calendar will prompt you. But because everyone is doing their own thing, working from home, we always prompt people and remind them about what's happening on the platform. So all you'll need to do on the days of the Event Tech Live is make sure you check out, you review your schedule every morning, and that you are you know exactly at what time you need to join your meetings, and keep an eye on your emails. So now what happens here? Once the meeting is open, once the meeting is happening, I see a little box here called that is turning on, and I can join my virtual meeting room. So what happens then, and I'll mute myself, is I'm in the meeting room. Now I can see Neil's profile. I can see the chat right there and then, where I can see, and Neil is just joining me because he was just a tiny bit late like me. Hi, Neil. And we're now in the meeting, having a chat together. We can even be like me. Hi, Neil. And we can and we're now in the meeting. We can share each other's screen. We can chat with each other. and everything. So it's great. Once the meeting is ending, I close the meeting. Yeah, we can hear the echo. Neil, you need to mute yourself. Neil, you need to mute yourself. Thank you. So here we'll be able to chat with each other, share some document with each other, and then once the meeting is ending, we just close the meeting room, and I can continue networking on the platform. Okay. So all my meetings will be sitting there on the platform in my meeting schedule. And as you can see here, for example, I have another meeting confirmed. The button is grayed out because the meeting is not happening until later. And this button will only become actionable 5 minutes before. So now this is more of your structured networking, okay? Other things and other tools you can use to network with people, and two great tools are the instant calling. So for example, you have a connection and you're making all these connections prior to Eventech Live, and you want to start chatting with people, and maybe you want to chat with a lead prior to your meeting, or your SDR wants to talk to a lead before the actual Eventech Live days. With any connections of yours, so people with which you have a mutual interest or already a meeting accepted, you have the ability to click on their profile on the connection side here and start an instant video calling. This allows you to pre-qualify leads or even have a prompt discussion or follow-up discussion after or prior a meeting. So same again, I click on this little camera, I join a session here, and I join a meeting room with Neil. Okay, and same logic again. Hi, Neil. Same logic again. I'm here with Neil. We're having a little chit chat, informal chit chat, because we just decided to, and we wanted to. We had something important to talk about. Now, once we have finished this chat, we can simply close it and say to each other, let's have this meeting next week. Super excited. I can't wait to hear your presentation, etc., etc. So it can be a tool that allows you to define whether or not someone is an interesting lead and you want to take it further, or it can be just a tool to have an informal chat after your meeting, and to just discuss follow-ups, etc., etc. Or you just want to chat with a mate, and like me and Neil right now, and we just have a discussion about the industry. So it's all about serendipity networking. There's a time for structured, and there's some people more attracted to structured meetings, and some that are more about instant networking. And it's important, I think, for all of us to adapt, our ways. That's why we're giving you such a different range of networking tools. Thank you very much, Neil. Now, the other tool I wanted to present to you, and this is one of my favorite tools, I have to say, is the Grip speed networking. So let's say you have, I would really encourage you to join the speed networking session, and I'll show you how to RSVP to them and how to access them right now. But those speed networking session is again another way for you to just have more of informal discussions and learn from serendipity networking. So you might just end up in a 3-minute speed networking session with someone that is going to teach you something. It doesn't have to be all about just buying and selling. It can be something about cross-learning, and we know it's been so important in this industry in the last 12 months. So make sure that you assign any sales team members or team members of your team to a speed networking session. I think it could do some really good for everyone to just having chit chat and being in front of different people. So here, speed networking session, how do I join them? So there's a little section here called speed networking. As you can see here, there's one happening right now. And what Eventech Live has done, and Adam and his team, is creating speed networking session with topics. So you can use, for example, you can see the one at the bottom here, agencies and brands, and etc., etc. So you'll be able to join speed networking sessions based on different topics. So super exciting again. And here we give you really funny and cute infographics on how the speed networking works. So hold your meetings. They're only 3 minutes meetings. At any point in time, you can stop the speed networking session after a meeting, okay? So how does it work? I join my speed networking session. Now it's looking for someone for me to meet. It's found a match, Jody, that I'm going to meet in 4, 3, 2, 1. and I'm now in the meeting room with Jody. And as you can see here, I have a little prompt at the top, which tells me I have a 3-minute timeline with Jody. Hi, Jody. I can see her profile on the right, and we can chat. Once at any point in time, if I find that Jody is incredible, and I know already she's incredible, I can click on interest, and I can decide to interest her profile right there and then. I'm already interested in her. So, but you can interest that person's profile, and they can interest you back in their connection. Okay, so it also allows you, there is a direct link to meeting someone and making a mutual interest right at the end when you prompt it. Now, just before this speed networking session meeting is done, it will give me a countdown. We will say goodbye, and I will be asked whether I want to join another speed networking. But in the meantime, I'm going to say goodbye to Jody, and I'm going to move on to the next section. Thanks, Jody. All right, what is next? So this is your different, and here, as you can see, I've had a speed networking session with Jody. I've already got her as an interest, but I can join, I've already got a meeting with her, but you can interest this person and automatically request a meeting with them. So you would have a summary of all the speed networking sessions you've done. So again, an easy way to get some lead generation or just have an informal chat. So make sure you put some of them in your calendar. And as you can see, Ventec Live team has been so smart, and they've created topics, which I think it's a brilliant idea, and I push all my clients to do this. I think it really engages people around a specific topic, again, and creates more cohesion and a little bit less scare. So that's about your networking tools. Now I'm going to, that was more about your individual networking tools. But now all of this also nicely flows into teams. I'm going to take a second. I'm going to take a sip of water because that's a lot of talking. Okay. What is Teams? Teams is a company, your company management tool. So not only do you network individually, but you also have the ability, all of this will flow into Teams as a company. So you will be more efficient. You'll be more efficient. You will have more visibility on how much leads you have generated, what everyone's agenda looks like, etc., etc. My top tip here: have a weekly meeting with your team. Have a weekly meeting where you spend 20 minutes you log into Teams, share your screen, be like, okay, guys, how many inbound leads do we have? Who has chatted with us? How many contacts have we generated? Is our company profile up to date? Our products? Who has RSVP to what session? And really engage people. You are the leader. Okay, you are the ones that are going to make this platform a success. Take ownership. Use this as an extension of your sales tool. Okay, this is like a Salesforce, but it's Ventec Live Salesforce. Okay, but it's Grip too. So here, one of my top tip: divide and conquer. What should you be looking at into Teams? Number one, and Adam told me to point this out. I think last year some of us were having struggle adding team members to Teams. Yes, you can add some of your team members. So here in the section team members, you can invite your members, put their first name, last name, email, job title, and role. An admin, the only thing an admin can't do is update company profiles and products. Okay, the only thing a team member can't do is update company profiles and products. I would automatically make everyone an admin unless you really have someone that shouldn't be managing company and products profiles or adding any products. Once you click on invite, it will automatically shoot out an invite, and this person will be invited to join your team, and they will also have access to all the tools I showed you before. But now, how do I use this tool to be the driver of sales, the driver of leads, the driver of conversation, okay, and to boost my team and lead my team? So as you can see here in the section meetings, I'll be able to see a full list of all the meetings my team has generated. Here we have a team of 4. Laurie, Sol, Double Sol, and Piotr, which is another team member. In here, I can filter the different meetings and look like how many we've scheduled, how many we have pending. Pendings are big ones, guys. Pending meaning someone has requested a meeting with you, but you haven't replied as a team. So this is something I would look at on a weekly basis as well. If you're an admin, look at what are the meetings you have pending and decline them. Even even if you don't want to accept this, if you don't want to be in this meeting, decline it, because otherwise it affects the other person's calendar. Okay. The second tool, and it's super important, is the inbound leads. So remember how I've told you about the interested section, interested in you, where it was a mimicking of you think about LinkedIn, where you have all these people viewing your profile. In the inbound leads section, what you can see is a list of all the people that have viewed your company profile, viewed your products, and viewed your team members' profiles, or have taken actions on it. So this is a rocket ship, guys. This is where you should always be looking and seeing, okay, Neil has a meeting with me, has viewed my company's profile. Okay, and so that way anyone from your team can take actions on those leads. You will have your leads to review first, and then as soon as you have action lead, so you have taken an action on it, it will then end up in one of those two sections. So keep an eye on this section and keep an eye on the list to review. I've done my job today, as all my leads already in reviewed and therefore in the total leads. Okay. The company chat section, and that's a big one. So on your company profile, and we haven't looked at it yet, so let's go and look at it, because I haven't showed you, and I promised you I would show you a company profile. So as I was showing you earlier, I updated the Grip profile, which has a pretty banner here, our logo, and has a demo video, all those information, the representatives I present. See this little picture here, Piotr is going to get in trouble. Pictures are very personable and they're nice, and they make a pretty profile. So make sure your team, not just sales, your entire team updates their profile. And we have a speaking session here as well that we are speaking out or sponsoring. Now you can see here, a company can be messaged. Once you have activated your team, anyone on the event, a visitor, an exhibitor, is going to be able to message you. So let's say I'm not really sure if Grip is really the fit for me, because I have a very specific thing I want to use. Okay, I can write a message to Grip and say, hey, I really want to have a specific tool. I want to be able to have sparkles in my background when I call on Grip. Okay, I can write this message and ask Grip. And then now what happens is the team members of Grip will all receive a message saying, Laurie has asked for, I send you a message and she wants sparkles on the background on the Grip meeting screen. In here, in the company chat section, anyone from the team will be able to action and chat and answer this chat. And let's say, and answer Georgie and say, oh, hey, Georgie, thank you for your interest. Yes, definitely, let's have a chat. And then either take that to an interest or start chatting with them via the chat, or make a connection and have an instant call, so on and so forth. Okay, so keep an eye on this. This is more of an informal way for people, for visitors and exhibitors to connect with your company when they need additional information before taking any action. Contacts. This is where you will have a list of all the contacts you've made, whether it's a mutual interest or a meeting. Remember, that's a contact. And then again, company profile, products. You can manage your different team members and their profiles. And here you'll be able to export your contacts and export your meetings for follow-ups after. Now, I think we've ran around all the networking tools. What I want to do now is go into the event agenda, because I know we have a Q&A session, so I'll speed it up. So another big component, and I think what Adam's team and him prime at is creating very, very valuable content. And I think when we think about content, we think about sit back, relax, and be there and being quite passive. Well, I will challenge this. I think this is again another great way for your team to be engaging with the community. As again, Adam has and his team have amazing created content, and we have also enabled within this content we've the chat functionality, meaning you should, and that's a tip and trick for you, make sure that every session you're interested in and your team is interested in, someone is attending and someone is chatting, okay, and someone is creating interaction in this chat, showing their face, sharing point of views and reacting on the people's comments. It is not only about meetings and about speed networking. It's also about, how do you engage with a community? Okay. And that's a great way to do it. So you'll be able to watch sessions live or pre-recorded, and you're mostly live, and you'll be able to chat here using the chat functionality. So I can say, hi, love this idea. Automatically, when I share this, people can react. This is how you react to an actual comment from someone else. I'm going to react on my own comments because I love it. and you'll be able to also see, go and click on directly on people's profile to go and see their profile if you want to take it further while you're chatting in the session. Here, Q&A and polling. You will also have access to Q&A and polling. Make sure you take part in it. It's always very interesting for your event organizers, and I'm sure Adam and his team will love to have those answers. So to go back to the event agenda, as you can see here at the bottom, you have two different types of content. You will have live conferences, which you can see here. You can see when they watch, you can watch them live stream. To add them to your calendars, you can simply click on add to my schedule. And if you wanted to send it to your native calendar, so everything also sits in your native calendar, you can click on there and send this invite and this meeting, this conference to your personal native calendar. So you will have sessions, and you also have roundtables around specific themes. Roundtables are also very straightforward. You will join a roundtable. And here you will be sitting in a roundtable with a few different people here, sharing some information about a specific topic, and everyone very freely. So it's a very informal way to discuss a specific topic. Here, and sorry, Neil, I cut this quite fast. Here, so what I would urge is starting the 25th, go in the event agenda here, look at all the sessions that might be interesting to you, click on them, look at the descriptions, and then add them to your schedule. Okay. Once you have done this, they will all sit in your schedule in the section My Schedule. So all your meetings, all your conferences, all your roundtables, and speed networking session will sit right there and then. Speed networking being sitting here, and you can also add them to your schedule, okay, around the specific topics that you want to access. So that's it for me. That's for the tip and tricks. So your profiles, use the different type of networking features you have for yourself, divide and conquer with your team in teams, using Teams, and make sure you have weekly 20-minute sales updates when you log into Teams and you look how good you guys are doing. And again, take ownership, okay? Don't sit back and be passive. Think about at an event when you're walking down the aisle and you see that person in front of their screen, not engaging with people. If you're not engaging, it will be just as a physical event. If you're sitting in front of your screen at your event and you're not making your booth welcoming, people are not going to walk into you, okay? So make sure you take ownership, you use this to the most. It was the Eventech Live team has worked so hard on making this a very curated platform with amazing exhibitors, amazing visitors, and some very, very cool tools, and just an overall very fun experience. So yeah. And that's it for me. And if you ever have questions, the Eventech Lab team sits right there and there. Book many meetings with them, and ensure interest with them, start connecting with them, and use them as your guinea pigs to using all your tools and features. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Laurie. You got through a lot there, didn't you, in what, like 30 minutes? So fair play to you. Right, we do have some questions, and there's one that I'm going to answer straight away. Rachel here has asked, when will you have access from the platform? Well, actually, everybody that's exhibiting should get access from tomorrow. So that's the first point in which they can jump into the Grip platform. But as a follow-on question from that, we actually had Lucy ask earlier. So if they already have a Grip account, maybe from last year, from the last Eventech Live, does that mean they have to go around creating them again, or will Grip pull in some information from last time?
Okay, in terms of personal information, we will not pull them. If you had, so for example, Daniel and I chatted 2 years ago, no, last year actually at Event Tech Live, and he's still a connection of mine because we had this initial connection. So as I said, it will carry on learnings and connections from one year to the other. However, your profiles, we want you to freshly update it, so it won't carry over information. However, you'll be able to use the same email and the same password.
Awesome. Okay. And I've got one question for you.
Yes.
What happens when a meeting overruns its schedule?
Yeah, no problem. That's a really good question, actually. So, trick and tips for you. If I'm in my schedule, and I think I have a meeting with Neil right now. Perfect. So as you can see here, the meeting is from 5:40 to 6 at my time. Okay. So if I join this meeting right now, I can stay in the meeting room after 6 p.m. After 6 p.m. There's no problem for that. However, if I drop off after 6 p.m., I can no longer join that room. So if the meeting runs over, that's not a problem at all. I can stay in the meeting room, but I actively have to stay in it. If I drop out after 6 p.m., then I won't see this button again. I will just see the rating of the meeting. So if you want this to prolong the meeting, just stay in the meeting room. It won't kick you out.
Awesome.
And if really you need to have a follow-up, you can use the instant calling to continue in the meeting, okay? Because you already have a connection with that person.
So on the instant calling then, how do people know that their connections are online?
So you can see here the little button next to Neil's beautiful picture that says he's online.
Perfect. So there's a little indication there, a little
Yep.
green. Is it a green spot? I think it is.
Yeah, it's the green spot. Yeah.
So they're online. Lots of inbound instant phone calls coming through for me. Then I'm assuming I'll be
I think so.
I think one of the things that we touched upon earlier, Larry, but I think is really interesting and a really important part is the skipping and interest and the actually engaging with the attendee list. My thoughts on that are that the more that people engage, the more that exhibitors engage with that in the lead up to the actual live event, the better meetings they're going to have. Yep. Right? Why do you think that's so important from a grip perspective?
In terms of, I think there's two things. I think, as I was saying, our AI not only uses data, it uses your overall behavior. So whatever content you interest in, whatever you profile, it automatically really it automatically betters your recommendations. But also, it's there is a saying in French, and I don't know it in English, but okay. It's an action. Leads another action, basically, by you taking the lead on interesting and engaging people and writing this thoughtful comments and in the meetings, you automatically trigger people to be interested in your type of profiles, but also engaging on the platform. So I think everyone that has been that has signed up for Event Tech Live has a personal ownership to make this event a success by showing the leads, by engaging throughout, all the different tools.
Awesome. And Rachel's actually got another good question. That's the reason everybody's here for. Do we see all visitors, or is it filtered to show the relevance to our public and profile behavior?
No, that's just for the, that's a very good question, Rachel. If you wanted something that is only relevant to your, you would go to recommendations, right? The exhaustive lists are more for you to do your own searches, right? However, if you want to look for something that is really fitted to your networking goals, use those filters. The idea behind those filters is the ability for you to look for a really specific type of profile, and you can double up and you can use different filters at the same time to make sure you have a very refined list. So if you want to do this, if you want to have predefined profiles, you use the recommendations. If you want to do your own search and look out for specifics using filters, you go in the exhaustive list of visitors, of speakers or exhibitors.
Perfect. And another one from Rachel. She's firing the questions in here. So guys, if you've got anybody else, not that I'm trying to put Rachel off. Rachel, I'm not putting you off. These are great questions. But if anybody else has got any questions, do jump in.
Yeah.
What kind of reporting is available to an exhibitor in terms of leads, and what details do they actually get on them?
This is like this. I knew this one was coming. Good questions. Exports. So in the exports here, in the exports meeting, you can see personal information, company, first name, last name, and all the meeting details of that person. In the export contacts, same again. You can see company, first name, last name. You can see what type of contact it is, and if they've decided they wanted to share their own contact information, you in the share contact, you will see it in there. But if you want really personal information about your contacts, you should ask them to share the contacts with you using that contact sharing, the contact details sharing box that I've told you in your profile, and then you can follow up to have their personal information directly from the connections. We don't share personal details otherwise.
Perfect. One more question from Rachel. Can we take our exhibitor link and share it on social media to invite others to come to meet at Event Tech Live?
1,000,000%. That's a very good idea. So, okay, Rachel, I'm going to go and look for Grip here. And I'm going to pick up the link. And here, this is directly my company link. So I can share my company profile links directly in there.
Perfect. What I would also add to that, Rachel, and suggest is just going back to the VIP tickets that we have for all exhibitors. We can actually give you a link and we can share that with you for people to be able to click on that and come straight into our registration process. And what's really good from our side as well is we can report on that for you. So at any point you can request to see who's registered from that link. That can be put into your emails and HTMLs and whatever else you want. So maybe do that as well, and then you'll see them at that point as a report from us as well. So yeah. And I guess the question, Gabby's got a question here, but it probably is, can the login links be sent to our emails? So everybody that's actually registered, the primary account holder, so whoever booked or is the primary account holder with us, that's where the login email to Grip tomorrow will be sent, and then that person can jump into Grip and actually invite everybody else on their team through that, which will fire them an individual personal email with a direct login link as well. That's right, Laurie, isn't it?
Yep, that's right.
Awesome. All right. I think we've run out of questions by the looks of things. Nobody else is asking any questions. I'm sure my inbox will be like this tomorrow morning, like right when everybody's had 5 minutes to think about it. This webinar will be on demand straight after the event. So anybody who wants to watch it can watch it back, and I'll obviously follow up with everybody that's registered for this as well. So we'll give you a direct link and do that. Do reach out to me, as Laurie has pointed out. From tomorrow, you can schedule little meetings in with me, send me messages. I'll be active on the platform, or you've all got my contact details as well. Laurie, thank you very much for doing such a stellar job of taking us through the webinar. And I guess we'll see everybody on the 8th, 9th, and 10th.
Very exciting. And if anyone wants to chat with me as well on the platform, I'll be on the platform. So don't hesitate to drop me a message. I'd love to help as well if you need to.
Awesome. Right, guys. Thank you very much. And we'll see you next time.
Bye. Thank you.